This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Hello, it's another week, so you know what that means. It's another Tuesday. It's the Nightwing News. I am Phil. Joining me, as always,
hi, I'm Kristen.
The dynamic duo of her and her cat. See, if you're listening to this on the podcast, this is why you should check out the YouTube.
My trusty sidekick.
Yes. Someone's not superstitious. She got a black cat.
Hey, black cats are good luck in the UK.
Oh, really?
Besides, I couldn't name a cat that worked Nightwing. That would be a travesty. I mean, because they don't make cats that are blue.
If you dyed it.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to put a stripe on that. She's going to put a blue stripe on that cat. Anyway. All right, before we get to our two issues tonight, all right, refresh my memory. When did that Nightwing annual come out? Was it just a couple months ago, right? Nightwing annual.
Oh, are you talking about Nightwing annual?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Could it have been December that it came out?
I swear it was. Yeah, wasn't it like November, December? Yeah, because I believe. Let me look this up. I believe we're getting Nightwing Annual 3 in April.
Are we really?
I believe so.
I mean,
I guess technically it would still just be one a year, but they're just doing it earlier this year. I
guess.
Yeah. Here we go.
And see if
Yes, in stores, April 29th.
Oh, dang.
It's weird because I don't know if this is supposed to be a flashback or not because he's in the suit. He looks like normal Nightwing because it says Dick Grayson's been many things in his life. Robin, Agent of Spiral, even Batman. But will he have a choice when the Condors try to recruit him for their cause? And will they take no for an answer? A thrilling high-octane adventure awaits over the skies of Gotham City. So it doesn't say anything about a flashback, but he's in his regular suit, it looks like. So does this mean we're getting...
Yeah. Well, it must be, like, in the timeline, because the Condors, remember Red Condor, was like, hey.
But if he met them in the past, would he remember? Would he remember because he's Rick Grayson right now?
Oh, that's true. That is... Trying to go back and see if I see where I got my...
So I'm wondering if this is going to be, if it's going to be set in the past, or if it's going to be like, oh yeah, this takes place after he gets his full memory and everything back, or by the end of April, we're going to have a fully functional Dick Grayson.
That would be pretty exciting.
Oh yes, my birthday's in April. That would be a nice birthday present if we got him back. That
would be good. Yeah, I can't find what date it came out, but that long ago.
No, like I said, it was like you said, if it wasn't December, it was
okay, Annual 2. Here, I found it. Annual 2 came out October 30th.
Okay.
Yes, October 30th. Yep.
So like 6 months later.
Go back in your emails, you'll find it.
So like 6 months. So like 6 months later, there's another annual.
It's a new year, new annual.
That's what I said. It's a different year, so I'm assuming that'll be the only one this year. We'll see.
Sounds good to me.
And they had like was it Nightwing 70? They had a preview for, and it looks like the Joker was attacking one of the Nightwings. So hopefully
the other Nightwings.
Hopefully he doesn't die. It was one of them. It was because but it was in black and white, so it was hard to tell which Nightwing it was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't really tell the blue from the red when it's black and white.
Yeah, no. All right, should we discuss these issues?
All right. Into 368, which is 1983. I believe same month that Teen Titans 39 came out.
It might have come out in 1983, but the cover date says February 84. So yeah, it probably came out like the end of 83.
Oh, okay. Then maybe it came out right.
But
okay,
it's like
yeah,
it's the very first issue where well, we'll get there because it opens up with Bruce and Jason in the Batcave trying to decide, hey, who can I be?
I know, and Jason has that funny costume. Oh, actually, I mean, his costume has pants, so it's, not a terrible costume.
It's got that's what I'm saying. It's the Robin color scheme. It's just like a different design. Like, I think that's part of what the allure of Tim was, is that he actually had his own Robin costume. It's like, do you think Jason would have gotten more acceptance if he just would have kept his costume and like slapped an R on it?
I don't know.
Like it's like,
that's an interesting question. I think. I don't know, because I think part of the problem with Jason is after Crisis, a lot of the writers of Batman, Robin, or didn't like the concept of Robin, and I think hurt Jason, because it's after Crisis that that's when you first get Dick getting shot instead of just on. So that's more violent. And I mean, we'll get to that, but like,
yeah,
in that one that he's like, I'm firing Dick, but we already know that he's going to keep being a stupid move. We'll get to Jason's new origin, where instead of him being a carbon copy of Dick, he has his own backstory. But I just think then that a lot of the writers treat Jason well. I mean, the thing first, once Dick debuted, he was in the Batman stories often than he wasn't. Mm-hmm. And it became that if they had a Batman story without Robin, justify why Robin wasn't in it. Because Batman would make some comment, oh, Dick's at the school dance, or oh, ball game, or something. Whereas then in the 80s, when they were getting they had to, I just don't think Jason appeared as much, and they wrote Jason really like a jerk. It was almost like they wanted people not to like him.
I don't think they did justice to Jason, because I think before Crisis they threw him in the same suit. They even had him dye his hair and everything, because they were just like, they wanted Robin. They wanted classic Robin with Batman, but they also wanted Dick over in Titans. So they were just like, Jason before Crisis was basically just a placeholder. Mm-hmm. Because if you weren't like that knowledgeable comics, you'd just be like, oh yeah, Robin's still with Batman.
Yeah.
But yeah, the post Crisis stuff we'll get to next episode, because there's a lot of backstory there.
Right, but post Crisis stuff that made some people want to kill him. I also think though that there were a couple. I mean, the story goes anyway that there were a couple people that really didn't like Jason, manipulated the vote by calling in. But I can't help but wonder also if. I mean, they'd never done that before. I can't help but wonder if some people called in, killed Jason, because they really wondered if DC would actually do it.
Yeah.
I would honestly have. I feel like if I had been, I was around at the time, but I wasn't reading. I feel that I actually would have been pretty surprised that they would have gone where the vote was and actually killed him. I think I would have thought, this is a gimmick, do it. And I think there were people that were trying to call their bluff, and then they did it.
Well, yeah, they said
I don't know.
They said they thought people were like, oh, they won't do it. They just did it to see if they could do it. I'm trying to look this up because I think I remember reading somewhere they said the vote wasn't that, it was pretty close.
Yeah, and then later it supposedly came out that some guy, because this was back in the. I mean, this was the 80s, so computers were new, and not that many people knew how to use them. And there was some guy who didn't like, supposedly some guy who didn't like Jason, who rigged up his computer to continue, and he voted like 500 times or something to kill Jason, something goofy like that.
I'm not seeing the breakdown, but they said it was over 10,000 votes, and it was a narrow majority.
Yeah, I mean, I think it might have been within 100 or
something like that. Yeah, but I think I heard another thing too. Is like it was like they did that in '88 because like they wanted Batman to be a loner again in 1989 for when the movie came out, and it's just like,
but then I think because Marv Tim is particularly associated with Chuck Dixon, Marv Wolfman actually, in the sense that Marv Wolfman wrote, I'm pretty sure, A Lonely Place to create Tim's character. And so, I mean, I think they realize immediately, though, it's actually kind of dead because we sell a lot of Robin merchandise. We have Robin be dead.
But yeah, no, because I mean, the part we're focusing on in 368 is, while Bruce and Jason are trying to figure out, who he could be, as a sidekick. So, bless you. That's when Dick comes in, and he's like, here's the suit. You can have the Robin name, and he's like, I'm leader of the Titans now. I'm no longer your partner, but he even, at least it's nice here, Bruce is like, oh, thank you, Dick, for everything, and,
Right, and he said, it's really great, and I love it when he says, it'd be a costume. When we're in mothballs, take it, Jason, I just love the original version so much, because he decides, I'm growing up, and then he passes it on to Jason. Much less angsty. And I know some people like angst, but I don't really like angst.
And it's like the whole thing was his choice, too. And the whole thing was Dick's choice, too.
Right, exactly. Oh, I was like, because Bruce, I think that's the thing is in some of these later ones, which Bruce becomes a huge jerk. And I really feel that they jerkify Bruce a lot at Crisis.
Oh yeah, after Crisis, definitely.
Because he is not that big of a jerk. And I mean, every once in a while, he says something that in, the old comics that you're kind of like, wah, groan. Like there's this panel where Dick walks by a shop, and I wish I had a bike like that. And Bruce's like, what do you think I am, a millionaire? I mean, it actually goes into the story, but you're like, yeah, you are a millionaire. Get a bike, dude. But it's meant to be kind of it's meant to be a dad joke. I think it's kind of a groaner opposed to, this is a significant character trait of Bruce. He's being a jerk. But then I just feel after Crisis, they start making him they start leaning into Bruce increasingly emotionally constipated.
They made him, I mean, they keep wanting to make him darker and like more paranoid. I mean, they made him more and more capable. Like, basically they, what they call him Bat God. But with the more they did that, the more paranoid he got. Mm-hmm. And that's when we actually, what is it? At least 2 different occasions we get him like actually hitting Dick. Yeah.
I mean, they kind of make, they don't, they're both terrible and, like, don't hit your kids. Don't hit your kids, viewers.
Yes.
It slightly makes sense in Titans when they're both, doesn't excuse it. It sort of makes sense in Titans when they're both grieving. But, at the same time, huge jerk. How on earth would you blame, you can't blame Dick for not coming to a funeral you didn't even tell him was happening.
Well, I think didn't they? I think I think in Titans they even said I think the Titans were like off. They weren't even on Earth when Jason was killed in the whole
They were off world, so it's a double thing. Jason killed while they were off world, but also when the funeral was either. And it's not like Bruce waited. Oh, maybe we could wait. Jason, once someone's dead, that Jason was a religion that he needed to be buried the next day. I don't think Jason was any particular religion.
Well, I think Bruce wanted to cover it
Anyway.
up. Bruce wanted to cover up Jason's death as quickly as he could because it's just like he didn't tell anyone Robin. Batman never told anyone Robin died. They just like Jason Todd died, so that way cover that secret identity.
Right. Yeah, but still.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, this a way bigger jerk.
I mean, that's basically the whole.
And I get it. I mean, on the one hand, okay, I get dramatic tint, but also it's sad because this one, the original version, it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it didn't feel, I felt they did a great balance in the Nightwing of it being kind of heartfelt and not overly sappy.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't read this and think, oh, this is so sappy. I read this and thought, oh, this is cute.
No, it was good.
Or, oh, this is a family with, considering they go out and punch people at night, the dynamics.
I mean, it was nice between Bruce and Dick. It was two former partners having respect for each other.
Right. And Bruce was, well, yeah, that was the thing, is it's particularly, makes Bruce look bad. Later stuff when he takes Robin away from, it's like they're purposely doing it to make Bruce a bigger jerk, because pre-Crisis, it was never obvious. They kind of had a couple different origins for Robin Hood, and then they tried to run him back in the day for like a half minute when he learned from this rando. But after Crisis, they've been very clear in multiple origin stories that Dick picked that name, and he didn't just pick that name because he liked Robin Hood. He picked that name because the name his mom had for him. And then for Bruce to fire him from being Robin and take is like, whoa.
Yeah, because
jerk move.
I know, because like pre-Crisis, he's
actually trying to make Bruce a bigger jerk.
I know, and pre-Crisis, Dick wasn't fired, and like Dick could have never come back to Gotham City, and Bruce would have been like, "Oh, yeah, Dick's Robin. You can't be Robin, Jason. You have to be somebody else."
Right? Yeah, Bruce was like, he just didn't. Yeah, it was very It was meaningful, and it was, a sign. Also set Jason and Dick up to have an actual decent relationship.
Yes.
Because Dick didn't need to feel like Jason was seeing him, or whatever. It was, Bruce, other kid in need. I'm ready to move on to being an independent superhero. Said Jason. And Jason was really grateful for it. He was like, oh my gosh, Dick, you mean it? And Dick said, so long, Robin, be great. Oh. It was nice.
So should we do Robin number 10?
Yep.
This one.
Now that we've...
Yes. Well, because this one's
actually... This is in the 90s, right?
Yeah, it's the actual...
94!
Mm-hmm. Like 10 years later, yeah. So, this was during 0 hour where, time was going wonky. So, in this one, Tim Drake gets to team up with a kid dad, Dick Grayson. So they're both Robin.
This one is, well, it is pretty hilarious. You guys trust funny. And then it's actually, they're both pretty chill with each other.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't immediately suspicious. I think that's funny, Dick. I like the long pants, which is funny. I'm not old enough to drive, though. I was never quite sure. Yeah. I guess it's one of those things. They've always done that with the Robins. They're always kind of not sure how old you are.
Oh, were you saying Tim or Dick?
Yeah, no, Dick's definitely not old enough to drive.
No, yeah, Tim.
But Tim has a car.
Well, Tim wasn't 16 yet. He got a hardship license because his father was, at this point, paralyzed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious. I mean, I feel like you wouldn't actually have to have a license to drive as Robin because everyone would just assume that you could.
But David made the comment. Tim even made the comment. I think during Nightfall, Bruce wouldn't let him take that car until he actually got a license.
Of course. Well, yeah, we know that Dick's not old enough to drive because Tim comments somewhere in here in his mental narration that Dick is younger than him. What I thought was nice was Dick was definitely as he was presented, busting. And so I thought it was reasonable that Tim would say, put thing, and he's like, okay, and he just does it. Because I feel if you asked any version of, if you asked like Adam West Batman to do it, he'd totally do it. But if you asked post-crisis versions of Batman, hey, can you put your hand on this thing so I can check your identity? He'd be all, no.
Yeah, because
way too sus. Don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I love this part in the aquarium. I mean, they're like, getting attacked and there's sharks all over the place. But I love how Tim's like, I'm older than him at this point. Like you said, Tim's like, I'm older than him, but I'm still playing catch up. Dick is just like so much quicker and agile than Tim.
I know, but I feel like Tim's older, but he hasn't been Robin as long at this point as Dick has been. Although, I mean, this is a couple years in term since we're already at 94, but time moves differently in comic books.
But I love how like Tim's all upset that the thief's getting away, and he's like, come on, and Dick's like, wait a minute. He's like, was the guy who replaced me as reckless as you? And Tim's just standing there thinking, Jason.
I know. I thought that was kind of good because too often, the things that they try to portray Dick as more reckless was generally written as initially, but a chance to shine. Yeah, at this point, he says, at this point, I've got more experience than him since time moves weirdly in comic books. If that I mean he's older, but just because Tim's older doesn't mean he necessarily has more experience.
Yeah,
I don't know, but whatever.
I mean,
I just thought that would. You don't. Maybe you are older, but you don't have more experience. Because I know that they weren't. I mean, the Rock getting older after Dick when they first got started, because you can get away with being 8 in the 40s, but you can't in the 90s, in the 80s and 90s.
And I mean, I don't know how Tim would know this, but I mean, maybe this is Dick from like he's been Robin for like 2 days, or Dick's been Robin for 2 days, maybe. Because there's time.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to imagine that he's been Robin a couple years, but whatever.
Yeah, it's time travel and stuff. So yeah, I mean, this Dick could be from any point, but I don't know how Tim would know that.
Right. Yeah, I don't think he does. I don't think he does know that. I think in typical Robin fashion, they always think the thing that makes them feel the most bad about themselves. I feel like all of the Robins do this. They're always when the Robins are together. They're always like, "Oh, this Robin's so much better than me."
I mean, that would just be funny if, like, the computer just from the size of Dick's hand when he's doing the fingerprints be like, oh, this is 12-year-old Dick Grayson.
Yeah. Don't say that. So then, but it shows, Dick's really good at the physical stuff. And then he's saying, this guy wants us to follow him. Let's, hold on. Get our bearings. And then we see fall into the piranha tank.
Yes, but it's a trick because after the thief wants everyone to think the piranha ate him so he could get out of town when no one's looking.
This is the only thing that... So, like, I get it as obviously we want Tim to figure it out so that it can be like, oh, no, yeah, maybe Tim's not as good physically, but he's got the brain stuff to make up with it. But I feel like they should have realized that sooner. When I was thinking about it more, I thought, okay, it's more dramatic this way that they go back and find the guy. But I feel like even if you didn't know immediately that that guy's been in the tank, 30 seconds? How many piranhas are in there? You think there isn't Looney Tunes? There's no way, even if they were the kind of piranhas that ate you, that they would have stripped his entire body clean down to a skeleton.
Yeah, that got me. That got me too. I was like, boy, that was cool. That was, even if they were, real piranhas that eat.
Right.
Yeah.
That would only happen in that they would do that. So I just thought that was kind of Tim would have realized that right away, and that honestly I mean, maybe the cops, because they could have shown up, might have been as confused, but I feel like you don't really need to be suspicious of they stripped him clean in the time down here, unless it took you 5 hours to get down there. There's no way Piranhas would have stripped him clean that fast.
Well, yeah, even Tim's like, boy, that scene, there's something not right about this. I think even when I read this, when it first came out, I was like, yeah, they ate him really quick.
Right, yeah.
I mean, it is a comic book, though, unless there's like some time in between those two pages, but they really don't.
Like I said, I feel as though they wanted it to be more dramatic.
Yeah. But then it ends all weird, though, because, like, time in 0 hour time's basically getting eradicated, so it's like, Tim and Dick don't even get to say goodbye.
Yeah, because then it just ends away, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there was like a big wave that was just like, yeah.
But, yeah. At least, Tim was feeling bad about himself, and then you got your job, Robin, so Tim's like, oh, good. I can contribute. Huzzah.
Yeah, it was kind of making Tim feel better, because he was like, last week I was working with adult Dick Grayson, and, now he's like, So even Dick wasn't like, completely perfect when he was, back in the beginning of his career and stuff. I just think, I like Tim. He's my second favorite Robin, but sometimes I think they sometimes they dumb Dick down a little bit to make Tim look a little smarter, like a better detective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's not necessarily as egregious in something like this.
Yeah, no.
Dick is younger than Tim, but yeah, sometimes it can get a little annoying. Nightwing. You're like, come on, he's at least 8 years older than Tim. Even if Tim, part of being a detective is experience and knowing stuff. It isn't all just, I just logicked it out of nowhere.
And yes, Tim is very smart, but it's like, it's like, for how many years he lived with his father? He wasn't living with Bruce full time. Dick lived with Bruce basically full time from when his parents died. There's some time in the orphanage or whatever, but basically, for how many years Dick was with Bruce 24/7, just about.
Yeah.
He should be able to pick up more stuff.
But, they wanted to, and I think it's funny. I of course don't know as much about Tim. I think it's funny because I also reading when, I think it might have been in A Lonely Place of Dying, the opening. Marv Wolfman, part of the reason, one, he named him Tim because of Tim Burton, which is funny. But they actually had Tim's parents still be alive so that Tim wouldn't sad and angsty as the other Robins. And that just cracked me up. Because it was like Tim stuff became an angst fest. And they were like, oh, we need to make Tim's like, man, Wolfman invented him to not be angsty. And now you're like friends.
Well, yeah, I think they basically wanted Tim to be like the anti-Jason or the post-crisis Jason. They went very safe. They made him, smart. He was very polite. And then, with Lonely Place of Dying, he basically got the, he got the thumbs up from Dick, just like pre-crisis Jason did.
Yeah.
And then they took their time after Lonely Place of Dying. Tim didn't get to put the suit on, I think, for like another year or so. So,
yeah.
And then they kind of gave him half angst because in that time there before he put the suit on, his parents were kidnapped. His mother was killed. His father made it out alive. So it was like he's half angst.
Yeah, I did. But then, then I just feel like over his career they like kept angsting. Then I feel like they increased, or maybe it's just in fan fiction, they of Tim's parents. They weren't really that bad, were they? Maybe a little not paying attention. They didn't realize their kid was sneaking out all the time. But.
Well, up until like his mother died, like I guess I think they were running a big company too. He's like, oh, they're always traveling around the world. I never know when I'm going to see them. Because he was like, when you first meet Tim, he's like in boarding school. Because the parents are like as traveling the world on business most of the time.
Oh, they were kind of
Yeah, they were like.
So he was also searching for a father figure.
Kind of, yeah. But then after the mother dies, his father's like paralyzed for a while. But he's like, "Oh, son, I'm gonna make it up to you. I'm gonna spend all this time with you." And at that point, Tim's like, "Oh, great. How am I gonna be Robin? And my dad wants to be, wants to be a father all of a sudden."
Okay. So yeah, heartwarming stuff this week.
Yes. Don't get used to it. Next week is Jason's post-crisis origin.
All these Robins getting along. Stop. Let's ruin it.
Next week, we'll discuss the logic of a man whose 19-year-old partner gets shot and he can't handle it, so he waits 6 months and then gets a 13-year-old partner.
Yes. Logic.
Oh, Max Allen Collins. Oh, we're gonna examine that next week.
It's weird. He's a good writer.
He is.
I read,
but just some of the choices.
I read some of his mysteries. They're pretty good, but I just think, yeah.
Yeah, I
can't help but wonder if they told him to do that. If they wanted something. I just did. Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it. I don't know. The 80s. Fine. I mean, there were bright spots. Like, I was born in the 80s. And they were also dark time.
Oh yeah.
In comics, I just think that, I don't know, they just wanted it. They wanted it a little bit grimmer, because I think you could have Jason be a street and him and Dick get along. You just bring Jason into the house before officially gives up Robin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. You didn't have to fire him.
I mean, I understand they wanted to give Jason his own definitive origin, because before Crisis, he was basically a clone of Dick, because he came from a family of aerialists. I believe they even called themselves the Flying Todds.
They did.
Yeah,
they did.
So, I mean, they really copied Dick's origin. So, yeah, I understand after Crisis.
I mean, Jason definitely needed and deserved a new origin. I think you had to have Bruce fire Dick in order for Jason to get that new.
Yeah, no. I mean, his own origin was fine, but it's just some of the choices Max Allen Collins made. It's just, I don't know.
And well, and then they take that angst up to 11 when it's Nightwing Year 1.
Oh yes, because
we're getting ahead. Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yes, next episode will be Batman 408. Where Dick gets shot and we get the new origin for Jason, and then the episode after that will be Nightwing Year 1. Yes,
is next week for 408?
408. Yep.
No, but I mean, are we doing Batman 416?
Oh, we had it down as 2 separate episodes, unless we wanted to combine it or something. But
okay, no, that's fine. I wasn't sure. If we were doing 408 and 416 together.
I mean, chronologically it worked, because next week will be 408, then we'll do Year 1, and then we'll do 416.
Okay, got it.
Although it's kind of weird, because in Year 1, which is kind of a retconned one, that's when he meets Jason, but then in 416 he kind of meets Jason again for the first time.
Right, yeah. It feels like Nightwing Year 1 kind of retconned both 408 and 416.
Yes. I can't wait I can't wait. I like 416. That's a good one. I can't wait for that. But then after that, we get Batman Year 3 and A Lonely Place of Dying after that.
We just got to get through these angsty teenage years.
Just to make you people realize how old I am. When Lonely Place of Dying came out, I think Tim and I were about the same age.
Wow. Those darn Batman characters aging so slow.
I know. I'm going to be 40. I'm going to be 42 in April. So yeah. So people, I mean, if they aged in real time, Tim Drake should be 42, around 42 or so.
Wow.
Oh my Lord! Can you imagine Dick Grayson?
Well, Jason should.
What?
Well, no, he'd actually be older than 80. He'd be 88. Should have been born in 32.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And Bruce be over 100.
Bruce be dead.
Well, I mean, yeah, but for real, they'd all be dead by now, because I don't think this is a sustainable lifestyle.
I know. All right, are we done?
Bruce would be dead of old age by now.
Yeah.
He'd be dead.
All right, are we done? Because we are getting kind of choppy here, too. All right, everyone. Again, so send us your thoughts. Next week, Batman 408, followed by Nightwing Year 1 from Nightwing 101 to 106, followed by Batman 416, followed by some of my personal favorites, Batman Year 3, and then A Lonely Place of Dying. So email us your thoughts on any of those. capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Follow Nightwing News on Facebook, on Twitter. Follow all the social medias, all in one convenient place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And remember to support our sponsors, Tweaked Audio, Hunt a Killer, Pod Life the Book, now in digital and paperback. And also go pick up all you Nightwing fans, Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder, from his 75th anniversary. Put together by a genius or a mad woman. I don't know which one, but go pick up that book. Pick up both. Go pick up both books. And when you do it through Amazon. And when you do, use the Southgate Media Group link that you can find right in the show notes of this episode. Do you have anything to promote? No.
Nope. I'm good.
I promoted the genius of that mad woman. So yeah, no, we're out of time. Anyway.
Thanks.
Anyway. Yes. Yeah, check out Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder. Seriously, Kristen assembled quite an entourage of people to write about Dick Grayson on his 75th anniversary. So read that in preparation, because this is the 80th anniversary of Dick Grayson, which you should realize. You've only been listening to this for 10 weeks now, people.
Gosh, 10 weeks already. Dang.
2.5 months. We have to beat you over the head if you don't realize that it's Dick Grayson's 80th anniversary. Yeah, because we started episode 20 was the first of these, and this is episode 30. So yeah, Boss can do the math. So yes, next time, Batman 408 by the infamous Max Allan Collins. Infamous for Batman. Alright, so until next time, same wing time, same wing channel.
Same wing channel!